The road to Athens 2026 starts here.
Real Madrid go back to the Final Four.
The crossovers and the playoff poster.
Fenerbahce Bank of Istanbul have punched their ticket to the Final Four.
For the first time in 19 years, the biggest stage of EuroLeague basketball has returned to the Greek capital. And it is here, beginning tonight, just beneath the eternal gaze of the Acropolis, where so much sporting history has been authored. 4 clubs decorated in history have arrived in Athens, each hoping to move one step closer to European basketball immortality. And with that, we officially welcome you to the 2026 EuroLeague Final Four. My name is Spiro Didis. It is my honor and privilege to be your host tonight as we count down to an evening of massive implications. After 8 months of incredible competition, the road to European glory has led us to this moment tonight. 2 semifinal matchups, the first featuring the defending champions Fenerbahce against Olympiacos, a club that will take the floor tonight with the weight of an entire city on its back. And then in the nightcap, an all-Spanish semifinal that will pit Valencia, the upstarts, in their first ever Final Four against Real Madrid, the most decorated club in the history of this competition. And without further ado, as you might imagine, I don't get to handle all the fun and enjoy myself by myself, as I'm going to introduce you to my 2 new closest friends. Coach, ladies first. Mrs. Vasiliki Karamuza, who is no stranger to sporting fans here in Greece, covers the EuroLeague as well as anyone for Sport 24, and it is our pleasure to have Vasiliki. Kalispera.
Kalispera. Welcome all. Welcome at my home country, at my town, at the stadium that I spent so many days every year. It's a great pleasure having you here, and welcome to your home country as well.
Thank you. Coach, Mr. Andrea Trichieri, who is the newly appointed head coach of PAOK BC, of course, as all the basketball fans watching around the world are aware. It is a pleasure, very excited to have you here tonight. Coach, you've been in some big-time arenas and some big-time atmospheres. Give us your feelings as you walked into the arena tonight.
Okay, my feelings, first of all, if this is the home of Vasiliki, I guess that she's going to take us for
adopted home.
No, she's going to take us for dinner, right?
Yes, dinner on me.
Okay, and
Yes.
some Greek wine, please.
Of course.
We have a deal?
Yeah, we have a deal.
So now we can start.
Okay, yes.
I want to answer to your question to something very personal. My ultimate dream, the whole my life, was to coach on this stage. So sometimes you need to go to the mountain if the mountain can't come to you. So at least I'm here. It's the biggest basketball show in the world with the NBA Finals. The atmosphere is unbelievable. Everything is big, everything is hard, everything is simply amazing.
If we can't hear each other at certain points tonight, that's because the Olympiacos hardcore faithful are seated literally
And
on
they
top
are
of
ready.
our shoulders.
They are very ready.
This, I think, is the quietest that it will be in this building tonight. But Vasiliki, you live in Athens, not far from where we are here. The storyline, of course, in the weeks leading up to this weekend was, would it be the 2 Greek teams? Panathinaikos, of course, falling short. Olympiacos is here. All the pressure that's on their shoulders. But what has it been like in Athens over these past weeks and days leading up to tonight with the energy level of the fan base?
And not just days and weeks, it was months and months, even from the summer when we found out that the Final Four will return to the capital of Greece. Everybody was talking about it. We said we have the 2 best rosters, the 2 most prestigious clubs, 10 EuroLeague titles combined. They both went to the Final Four the last year and the year before that, so everybody thought, this is it. We will have a Greek final in Athens. That was the ultimate dream, but unfortunately one of them didn't make it, and it's not the host team. Panathinaikos is not here tonight, but Olympiacos is here for the 5th consecutive time, so everybody's excited. That's all what people are talking about. Hundreds and thousands of fans will come here today from hours before. They consume so much basketball content, I can tell you that. We have non-stop YouTube shows running all over. So I think it will be a great spectacle, and they will be paid off by the end of the night.
Coach, we have a lot of time to break down the matchups. We're going to pick your basketball brain, but for someone like yourself who's just now taking his first steps into a new country and a new experience, you've coached all over the world, all over Europe, how much of the vibe have you gotten a taste of, not only here in Athens, but the time you've spent up in Thessaloniki as you prepare for your first season next year to lead PAOK?
This is a country of basketball. You know, I had the luck to coach in Serbia, to coach in Lithuania, and now what is missing? The Golden Triangle, Greece.
So you feel the intensity already?
It's amazing. It's more than intensity. It's like something like a load on the shoulders of everybody, players, coaches, fans. It's like, you know, nobody. It's, I would say, almost the end of the world in a positive thing. Everything ends up here.
Take me into the mind of the coach. Obviously, Giorgos Printezis has been, you know, the biggest part of the story with the pressure and the consecutive Final Fours. But in this moment in time, the first match is, of course, Olympiacos and Fenerbahce. As you sit in your locker room, in your dressing room right now, 60 minutes before the game as the coach, what are you doing right now in that room? What's going through your mind? What are the emotions like?
It's polar opposite from two coaches, okay? Taking for granted, and that is like exactly like this. They are, both coach has the keys for the Final Four. They've been there many times. They know everything. But I always love to talk about the subplot of the game. So one team, 5 years in a row, reaching, this is the 5th year of Olympiacos, reaching the Final Four, and they're coming from 4 losses, 4 defeats. They won 2 times in a row, 12 years ago, 2012, 2013, but for sure the scars of what happened in the last 4 years are there. So for Coach Printezis will be very important to take these memories out. So we are here, we have to play today. It's here and now. It's not the past. The past doesn't count tonight. Because when he will get in the locker room for the final speech, he will feel, because coaches feel what the players think. One player think, what if? The other one will think, we are going to destroy them. You know, players are different individuals. So he has to mix, to blend all these emotions. And for Saras, that is the reigning champion, is repeat, back to back. It's totally different way to approach to the game. So he has to go there and say, we did it, we have to do it again, but it will be different. I always say to any team I coach, what was good yesterday is not enough today. So they have to raise the bar.
And as the great Zeljko Obradovic used to say, what's past is past. Do you remember that famous press conference? But coach, is there such a thing as a favorite in this type of games? Because we are talking for the defending championships that have done it before, and we're talking about the team that has multiple Final Four experiences but haven't won it in the past couple seasons, but they finished first in the standings again. Is there such a thing as a favorite?
Are you kidding? I have now
to
expose myself giving you a favorite.
I won't tell you who is it. I don't want you to tell me that.
No,
but
I'm joking. No, there's no favorite for the first game. 2 teams that knows exactly what it takes. 2 teams that will play a different game. I believe it will be very important what kind of game it's going to be. If Olympiacos is able to play through discipline and half court, they are favored. If Fener is going to be able to take the game to transition, early offense, and offense without structure, they are favored.
okay.
I want to talk a little bit about the building. This is my second time since they refurbished the building. Telecom Center is just off the charts. I understand you've been here obviously many times over the years, but this is your first time since they changed the place. This is as nice a building in terms of the technology, the luxury suites, everything that they did. Give us your impressions of this arena.
It's high levels and top notch. Everything is perfect, And I love that the thing that is an arena with a lot of tradition, but with these standards, it's the best that you can ask.
And the glass floor will add a very different touch to this Final Four. You should be sure about that.
I think the Olympiacos fans are getting ready, as you might be able to hear them in the background here. Coach, any pregame rituals? Any like favorite meal? I know you Italian coaches maybe like to drink a little wine in the pregame meal a few hours before. Anything that you like to do before as you sit in the dressing room as game time approaches?
I love when the stage is so big, when the task is so difficult, do what they're supposed to do. We have to do what we are supposed to do. Nothing new, just be the best version of yourself today. Nothing more. Don't put extra mustard on the thing.
That's what Coach Barjoka said. We don't want to change anything in our routine in this week coming to the Final Four. Despite that it's here, despite that we didn't have to travel, we will do everything exactly as we did it all season long, building our habits. We will continue to do the same.
We have basketball fans all over the world watching us tonight on YouTube, and a lot of American fans that have been in NBA arenas, but I've always told them, until you've experienced a place like this in Europe, specifically maybe in Athens, you think of Belgrade, some of the really basketball-centric cities, you really don't know what this is like. And I just wonder, from a coach's standpoint and more from a player's standpoint, does something like this put maybe just a little bit more pressure, even with all the recent Final Four history for Olympiacos, does it put even more pressure on their shoulders to have to play in front of this kind of crowd?
Yeah, it's pressure. It's I say that the weight of the single possession is unmatched for the Final Four. Every possession, it's not a banner, it really counts. Every possession can change the momentum, can change how the players feel. And if you look up and you look at the faces of the fans, it's like they already played 3 games. They are drained. They want it to finish very quick because it's like kind of suffering. There is this suffer out here. You can feel, it's sweat, blood, sacrifice.
It's something. The fans are getting revved up just behind us here. As the Olympiacos fans, we've heard different reports, maybe 10,000 tickets sent to Olympiacos supporters. We'll see how well represented Fenerbahce is, obviously not far from their country and their home city, just across the way, across the water. But my goodness, the atmosphere in this place is going to be astounding as our countdown to tip-off continues here. You may notice, by the way, we do have an empty chair at the end of our desk. That is our celebrity dignitary chair. We are expecting to have all kinds of special secret guests. There may be a certain 2-time NBA All-Star that could be joining us this evening. Vasiliki will be seated next to whoever that special guest is. But this is going to be a night of unexpected, and then, of course, what happens during the course of the game. But the energy continues to ratchet up as we get closer to game time.
Yeah, this is how we experience games here in Greece. You can't get better than that.
Our countdown continues here. We are just over 60 minutes now away to the first semifinal between Olympiacos and Fenerbahce. As we've had a chance to stroll around our hotel. Coach, I know you got in late last night, but you can feel it. I mean, even with the disappointment of Panathinaikos not reaching the Final Four, all of these other teams, you see Fenerbahce jerseys all around the city, well represented, and the 2 Spanish clubs as well. Final Four weekend, it's a celebration of the sport, and really it's unlike anything else that we experience on the European stage.
It's very unique. Usually a game 7 is the best thing in sports. There are series, documentaries about game 7, and I love it. But what a Final Four brings, it's unbelievable. All the city is submerged with this passion, with this intensity, with this energy, and you can feel it here. It's the Final Four. It's pure basketball.
Well, as Vasiliki said herself, to be a Greek is something to be very proud of. This weekend, hosting an event of this magnitude, and we had a chance to hear from some local Greeks to to welcome our audience tonight and all of these fans making their way to the city this weekend for the EuroLeague Final Four.
Athens is the mecca of European basketball.
When I heard the EuroLeague Final Four was going to take place in Athens, I was a little scared because I'm like, how are we going to handle the fans?
I don't think there is any Greek that hasn't played basketball at some point in their life. It's like part of our identity.
Ever since it was announced, everyone was asking, do you know a way where I can get in? Do you know anyone? You have a guy? Or...
I have money.
If I make it with the first one, Barzogas will lift the trophy.
We have the hottest fans in Europe. We only compare with cities like Belgrade. Stop there. Yes, with Belgrade, yeah. There's no competition. It's a crime that that are so many years without the Final Four in Athens.
Even if just one of the Greek teams goes to the Final Four, the atmosphere is going to be crazy.
The supporters of Olympiacos want to win Panathinaikos in his stadium, but we're afraid to lose in a game like that.
Everyone loves the atmosphere of big games, big rivalries, big events, etc. But it's actually the hardcore fans that keep this culture alive.
Yeah.
They are the ones chanting, the ones losing their sleep over the results, and the ones creating this atmosphere. So they should be actually the first that have the access.
The priority.
And they make basketball a better sport.
It's going to be exciting to show the rest of the world how we perceive basketball and EuroLeague and how much we love it. We get upset if somebody loses, like, it's so emotional. I think that that's the word I'm going to use for our culture, because we make ourselves be a part of it, and I think that that will be the best part of it.
All right, this is a country and a city and a fan base that is unmatched in a lot of ways in terms of the passion that they have for the sport. And it's, again, it's a celebration of the city. It's a celebration of European basketball this weekend.
It's celebration of high-quality basketball with the best fan base. I would say one of the best fan bases in Europe.
Vasiliki, again, we mentioned the storyline of a potential two teams here. We know that there's a heavy security presence. It has been at the top of mind for a lot of the fans coming to the building tonight, but everything under control so far. It is loud, but the police and the security are doing a nice job, and everything seems to be orderly at this point.
So far, so good, as they say. 4,000 policemen should be around and inside the arena for this Final Four. You understand the magnitude and the thousands of people arriving here from different countries. We want everybody to feel safe, to feel comfortable, and enjoy the best basketball that there is out there in Europe.
I've been very impressed. The Olympiacos fans are very friendly with Coach. They've been screaming your name. They've been giving you heart signs.
You know what? You want to know why?
Why is that?
Because they beat me a lot of times.
Is that the reason? Okay. Coach is very popular. By the way, you're Greek. I'm very, very impressed with your level of the Greek vocabulary.
Legal.
Είναι πάρα πολύ καλό, πάρα πολύ καλό.
Ευχαριστούμε, φίλε.
Παρακαλώ. Let's talk about semifinal game 2, the all-Spanish semifinal, the second game in our nightcap tonight. What a matchup. What a revelatory season for Valencia, the number 2 team in the EuroLeague standings to finish, of course, after Olympiacos. They'll take on Real Madrid, who we'll get to in a moment. But Pedro Martinez, a coach that you know very well, what a moment for him, because you think about before the season began, Coach, I don't think there was anyone talking about them even as a playoff team, let alone to get to this moment in the Final Four in Athens. Completely unexpected.
Everybody already said how good Valencia is playing. All the things they are doing super well. I want to extend the concept. I believe that Valencia could be a game changer. Why? Because they chose a philosophy over the star system. So they have very good players. You never know if the players are so good or the system made them so good. I believe that the truth is always in between, in the middle. So Pedro, that is a beautiful mind, he was not playing like this in the past, chose a philosophy that is pace, 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 energy, 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 flow, 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 and shoot the ball and rebound. Now it looks very simple, like it's not, because between all these lines, he put great defense, great effort. Their philosophy is more important than the names of the players on the jersey, on the uniform they have. And this could be a game changer because they surprised a lot of teams with their style of the game.
But coach, do you think that many teams can follow on their footsteps and embrace this type of basketball, because you need to have a certain type of player that can support that? You want young guys, fresh guys that can run up and down the court, substitutions, guys that can shoot threes to stretch the floor.
First of all, every philosophy has to go on the court.
Yeah.
You know, you don't win just with the philosophy.
Yeah.
You have to apply the philosophy. They are doing everything to maintain this philosophy on the court. Means they sub very often to keep always the high pace. They sub very often to have always player with energy. And at the end of the story, I believe that the key thing is when the player plays like this, he's happy.
Yeah.
Because the mistakes are less important. They do mistakes. Eventually they do more mistakes than other team, but they create more opportunity to save from that mistakes.
And what a story between the two coaches. 36 years after they met in the Korach Cup, Pedro Martinez and Sergio Scariolo meeting here on the biggest stage that there is in the sport. They're both the same age, and you just consider the paths, the trajectory of both of their careers. Two men that are really close off the floor. We saw their interaction during the press conference yesterday here in Athens, and just an incredible backstory. And the craziness of this life as a coach, as you know as well as anyone else. What a story between those two men.
They found themselves after so many years at the highest level with a completely different path. So Sergio is back in the EuroLeague after many years as the head coach of one of the most glorious national team in the world, the Spanish national team. He won a lot of titles, a lot of medals, great players, Navarro, the Gasol brothers, Ricky Rubio, you know, Yul that is still playing. So, and he get back to the most, let's say, the powerhouse of basketball, Real Madrid. And now the first year is back to the Final Four. I know Real is often to the Final Four, but it was not something to take for granted. And in the semifinal, he found Pedro, that same age, different stories. This is an amazing story. After this Final Four, whole Spain is going to talk about this.
And it tells you how much of a small community the basketball European community is. It's like a small village, like a choryo, we say here in Greece.
We say that this is a small pod.
Yeah, okay.
All the same fishes.
Yeah.
Coach said he wants to learn 5 new Greek words a day. Was choryo already in your vocabulary, or is that a new word?
No, this is a new word.
Very good.
Okay.
So you're down to 4 for the rest of the evening.
Say it again, please.
Choryo.
Village.
Postolen.
Coach, just to get to Scariolo, with the injuries, with, of course, Tavares and Alex Len, how impressed have you been with how he's held the team together, a team that had some peaks and valleys during the course of the season, but to get them to this moment without a guy who's been really the face of their club all year has been impressive.
You're scratching the surface. I believe, you know, if you think overall, I go to the Final Four and I don't have my 2 main centers. Wow. It's a hit. But the thing is, if there is one game in the whole season where maybe I don't need these 2 centers, or I don't need for 40 minutes, is Valencia game. Because Valencia's system takes the big guys out and they want to open the paint for the drives of the guards to kick the ball out, to finish at the rim. This could be a key factor. But you need to find, Real has to find somebody to rebound and somebody to protect the paint as a rim protection. So Garuba is playing well in the last games. This is, I believe, the key, the tactical key is around this thing.
I followed closely the playoff series between Valencia and Panathinaikos, and second chance boys from offensive rebounds, it's a major factor for them. So definitely Garuba, Trey Lyles, they all need to step up, box out, take the rebounds, because if they get the ball and they run the floor, you're doomed.
Yeah, but Vasiliki, one thing is, of course, when one team bangs the board, the coach says, hey, box out. But for how Valencia is banging the board, they start from the three-point line.
Yeah, and they go inside.
And it's very difficult to meet them.
Yeah.
So I believe that it's not so easy to box out Valencia, guys.
We are less than 50 minutes away from the opening semifinal, which will pit, of course, Olympiacos, their 5th consecutive Final Four appearance. They have yet to lift the trophy, of course. That has been the major storyline over the final weeks of the season, as they will take the floor here against the defending champions, Fenerbahce. But just staying with the second semifinal, the all-Spanish semifinal with Valencia and Real Madrid. The other interesting part is Valencia took so many teams by surprise with their up-tempo coach, the way that they get up and down the floor. Real has the luxury of being more familiar with them than any other team. This is the 7th time that these two teams will have faced each other this season. Valencia took the first 2, but Madrid took the last 4. Obviously, with the absence of now Tavares and Alex Len, that changes the dynamic, not in terms of just the personnel, but also the style. Does Pedro Scariolo have to change his style? What about the familiarity, and how does that affect this game tonight, do you think?
Familiarity is important. You don't have to talk too much to your players. They know what kind of plot, what kind of game is going to be developed. But still, the magnitude of a Final Four can change a little bit. And some players that in the other 6 games were silent or not big part of the show can come up.
Absolutely. But I think we are ready to welcome a guest.
We're ready to fill the seat, our celebrity seat, as we have 2-time NBA All-Star Alperen Sengun from the Houston Rockets, who is about to come sit with us here at the desk as we continue our countdown to semifinal number 1 between Olympiacos and Fenerbahce, as we will have Alperen Sengun, I believe, is going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. But Alperen getting wired up to sound, asking him for autographs.
Coach Adaman's son. It's Coach Adaman's son. That's like
yes.
Yeah.
Alperen Sengun, 2-time NBA All-Star with the Houston Rockets. He's going to get wired up so he can.
You two know each other.
Hopefully, can hear us here. It is loud. It is getting louder, as everyone expected it would be. Coach, do you know Alperen? This is your first time meeting?
Welcome, Alperen. Can you hear us?
I hear barely, but you know.
Alperen, welcome. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you so much.
You never actually played in the EuroLeague. Your career has, of course, reached amazing heights in the U.S.
You guys little.
Just tell us, Alperen, your feeling being here, the atmosphere, what it's like for you to walk into this building tonight and experience the Final Four.
Like you said, I never played in here. Before I went NBA, actually.
Welcome to Athens.
Welcome to Final Four. We welcome them in Istanbul too.
We're not in the NBA. We're not in the NBA arena anymore.
Exactly.
But all right, we have some drinks being spilled. Coach, we expected that it may get a little rowdy. Maybe we didn't expect anything a little bit too much. The Olympiacos fans have taken the building over. Alperen, welcome to the EuroLeague. Welcome to the Final Four. It's crazy.
I know, it's great. You miss this atmosphere out here, so we don't have this out there, but it's amazing to see. That's what people came to see, and I'm excited to see it.
How much Do you have the time to follow the EuroLeague while you're playing in the States?
You know, unfortunately, we got elimination in the first round, which is, you know, it was really upsetting for us. But, you know, I came to support the Fenerbahce, and same as well. I wanted to support my coach, Ergin Ataman, but, you know, unfortunately, he's not here. Hopefully next year. But, you know, I'm excited to be here to support my team, Fenerbahce, and, you know, hopefully we got the dub.
Do you have the time to watch the games throughout the season?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a you know, sport watching. I only watch NBA because it's like timeline is better for me, and you know, it's just hard to watch out here. I always follow the scoreboard and everything, but it's not hard. Easy to watch the game for me. But you know, I always enjoy watching EuroLeague though.
I want to ask you one thing. So let's go back to basketball. If they ask you what position you play, what you'll answer? Because in my opinion, you're a playmaker because you make plays.
Yes. It's different. It's different in the national team. It's different in NBA. You know, this season, you know, we didn't have a point guard, so I had so much ball handling in this season. So that was one of my things. And then honestly, I got ready for the NBA last year because I was with the national team, and I was kind of doing a little bit of everything. And you know, that's just my game. I'll do whatever the team needs. You know, I'm ready for it. That's how I grew up. That's how I learned the basketball. And you know, I'll show up anytime.
But what gets you going when you play a pass, a knock down, a three-point shot? You know, I want to know what you feel inside.
Usually, you know, actually, sometimes it depends on the game. It depends in the moment. You know, I'm usually like feel really good in the good games. You know, like playoff times, like good games. I usually feel good the whole season. But some games I just feel for those. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like. It's just the same thing in the national team and in the NBA. That's just like how I grew up. I just hate the losing. You know, and if it's like there's you know, if it's a competition, it's make me more going. So that's just how I feel.
Alperen is getting a little dangerous in here, so we're going to let Alperen go and get inside.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
We appreciate the time. The Olympiacos fans just got a little excited. That's all, Coach. They hadn't seen Alperen Sengun in person. They may or may not have thrown a couple of beers in our direction here, but everyone is safe and everyone is happy.
Yeah, that's the craziness. You can't get out of that. It's crazy out here.
Coach, welcome to Athens, welcome to Greece. The scene is just out of control, crazy, as Coach is getting wired up again.
You know, everything is going south, but we don't give up.
We don't give up.
So
You always have to have a plan B.
You always have to have a plan B, including getting Coach's mic rewired. I think there may have been some beverages that spilled on his microphone, so we're going to get Coach locked up again. We're going to take a quick break as our countdown to semifinal one between Olympiacos and the defending champions Fenerbahce continues. Now just under 40 minutes away here in Athens, Greece.
Valencia Basket have punched their ticket through to the Final Four.
Real remains on top.
What a play! This kid has ice in his veins. Oh, beautiful feed. From downtown. How about that? I love this game. We put in that work, now we win it. Come on, let's go.
Welcome you back inside the Telecom Center here in Athens. Just under 40 minutes away from tip-off, semifinal one of the EuroLeague Final Four 2026. Olympiacos and Fenerbahce get set to take the floor, and as you can hear just above us, the Olympiacos faithful are making themselves heard, without a doubt, as Giorgos Printezis, Olympiacos legend, just walks by us. He may be joining us in just a little bit. But Coach, let's dig in. We mentioned Giorgos Printezis as Giorgos is going to join us here at the desk. I don't think we are going to have anything thrown at us Hopefully.
He's hugging the people
Yes.
behind us, and
We
that
had
says
him.
a lot.
We don't have him anymore.
Yes, exactly. We'll see if Giorgos can get wired up so he can hear us. Coach, they have been looking to recapture EuroLeague Final Four glory really for the first time since Giorgos' era. Of course, the author of probably the most iconic shot in the history of the sport. Giorgos, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm trying. Just give me a second. Sorry. I will find a way. Okay, I hear you.
Carlos Oris, welcome, Giorgos. Giorgos,
Carlos
right here
Riga.
to your right. There you go.
Okay. I was trying to find you somewhere else. I don't know.
Carlos Oris, welcome. You've been in this building, of course, many times. You know the atmosphere here is better as well as anyone else. Just give us your emotions as you get set to watch your club here tonight.
First of
Hopefully
all, it's a
recapture
great
glory.
team. Just everybody knows that, especially the last years. They updated a lot, but for all our fans, for all Olympiacos fans, this is something great. I mean, to see that team always to be totally red, it's something different and strange to me. I never used to see it like that, but for me it looks nice, but okay.
How's your stress level right now from 1 to 100? How stressed are you right now?
Okay, I don't have the same stress as I had as a player, but there was many players, many friends that they explained me that they really had the pressure when they watch a game, and I couldn't realize that. Also, as a fan, if you watch a game, it's strange because I always was a player, so I try to adjust the situation. So still, you have a pressure, but okay, from outside, of course, it's different.
Giorgo, I want to know what the hell are you doing to have this kind of shape? Sorry, I believe you can still play.
Mentally or physically?
Mentally, always.
No, I continue. I keep my routine, coach. I keep my routine. It's very important for one player when he retired to keep 1 hour per day to practice himself. So I am continuing to do that. Physically, I'm good,
Tell
but
him
mentally, I couldn't continue.
The secret of the Aegean Sea in Syros. Tell him the secret.
There is no secret.
Giorgo, how to manage the fact that this is the 5th time Olympiacos reaching the Final Four in a row, and the last 4 times the feelings were bitter. As a player, you were a very important part of this team. How can you manage to have the best performance without thinking about the past?
It's not easy because Olympiacos, during the season, they play really good basketball all season. From 2022, when I was there, they play really well. But as everybody knows, that's my opinion, that EuroLeague has 3 competitions. I mean, it's the regular season, it's the playoffs, and then it's the Final Four. In the Final Four counts a lot of things. I mean, counts the day, counts, personally I don't believe on luck, but counts the on-ball play game, counts the personal responsibility of the players. So, okay, maybe the game against Real that we missed in the last shot, we could be a little bit more lucky, but I believe that the last year we missed something. This year I like Olympiacos the way they are more humble, they target on the focus, they don't talk a lot, so I don't know. I feel that maybe something good is coming.
Your recipe is perfect, don't talk a lot.
Thank you.
Giorgos, as someone who played in the Final Four multiple times like you, what is it like right now, 30 minutes before the game, everything going on in your mind and in your heart? Take me into the locker room right now at this moment. What are you doing? What would you do as a player in those final moments?
Personally, I try to enjoy all games, even if it's Final Four, I don't care. I mean...
He's still very popular, as you can see.
He's the boss.
I mean, okay, always there is a pressure. Always you try to take the pressure with you and to be an advantage, but okay, always you must have a limit. I mean, it's a game, and of course you need to have a pressure because if you have a high limit on your targets, and but it's a game, so you have to be inside and you have to be calm. It's 5 against 5. That's all.
If you had to pick one player from Fener that you thought is the most dangerous, a key player for Fener, who would that be?
I believe Biberovic.
Okay.
Because Olympiacos, maybe they're going to switch all picks. I believe Olympiacos, both of them, they are good defensive teams. They play both of them switch. So I believe Biberovic will be the key player from Fener if he's in good shape. I don't know if he make a good game.
And who you pick on your side? Who's the guy, red and white, that you want with the last ball to win the game?
In Olympiacos, the last ball. I believe this is not the basketball that Barzokas likes. I mean, there is not a clear on-ball player in Olympiacos, not only this year, all years, that he will take the last decision. We improved this year with Tyler Dorsey. Evan Fournier, for me, he has the quality for those games. And my personal bet, if I can say like that, is Nikola, because Fener also will play a lot of switch today. I believe a lot of them. So if, let's say, you put a lot of balls on him, maybe we will see something different, and Nikola will be the on-ball player that Olympiacos try to find.
Giorgos, we've all heard the reports that there's pressure on Barzokas that he has to win the big game. He's been to many Final Fours, but he's never had that ultimate glory. Do you believe that in some ways maybe he's coaching for his job, or do you not believe the narratives that Barzokas has the pressure that he must win to continue with the club?
All the coaches has pressure. There is not. I saw Duda, 2012. He was so big coach, but he was under pressure. He sweat. So if I saw this guy to be under this pressure, so everybody they must feel this. And this is something normal. I mean, the player also. Even if you play 10 Final Four, again you have pressure for the next Final Four. But you believe yourself. You work all season, you prepare mentally, and the experience, it's a big thing. That's what I believe.
Do you remember the last Final Four that happened here in Athens 19 years ago?
Yes, I remember.
What specific do you remember about that?
I remember, I remember that Panathinaikos won CSKA. I remember Papaloukas make a great game. He changed the rhythm and he was really good. And Panathinaikos won the EuroLeague.
Giorgos, you are in the locker room. You're ready to play the semi-final. What do you want to hear from your coach to go out there and give your best?
What kind of speech?
There are a lot of tricks, and you know about that. And personally, I believe that the coach doesn't have to change anything before the Final Four or before the game. The things that brings the team here, it's the things that you'll continue also in the Final Four. Okay, you can change small details. You can make some small tricks, let's say, before 1-2 games for the team to be more excited or to do something, but I don't believe that you can change a lot of things. Personally, I don't want to hear something. I mean, just if I know that
go out there and play.
If I have the trust of my coach, for me it was a great. But another player, something different.
Giorgos, speaking of coaches, Šarūnas Jasikevičius is someone who you know obviously very well over the years. What kind of a difference can he make, and how much of an advantage do you believe that he gives Fener with the way he coaches, the fire that he draws from his players? What about the coaching matchup between Šarūnas and Barzokas?
You know, especially the last years in EuroLeague, you cannot, as a coach, you cannot change a lot of things. You don't have time to prepare the games. And Šarūnas is a coach that he always likes to prepare the game. I mean, to put a target, to try to find the weak player of the opponents, and let's say to have some specific plays. Now he had the time to do it. He had 15 days, so I don't expect to change something. Let's say a lot, but I believe he will continue in the same tempo. I mean, a lot of switches in defense. They play really hard. They will target a couple of players for Olympiacos. Maybe they will risk from some players of Olympiacos, and that's all.
Coach, everyone talks about Šarūnas with such respect, and they seem to give them the advantage because of what he brings to the table. You know him, you've coached against him as well as anyone. What's your opinion on it?
I had the privilege to play a 5-game series to go to the Final Four against Šaras, and believe me, I believe that we both spent nights working, trying to find the angle of the screen, the detail and everything. It was really a nightmare but was so amazing to see how his players put on the court what he's asking. This is, I believe, his greatest talent. You know, he was a hell of a player, and now he's a hell of a coach, and he knows the language of the players.
And he knows this city. He knows the level of fandom in this city. He knows this building very well. He tried to downplay it as masterfully as he always does yesterday during the press conference. Giorgos, I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you for a prediction, but what do you think the matchup comes down to tonight? Olympiacos and Fener, where do you see the game going? Will it be a matchup of high scoring, more defense? What do you think will be the way the game goes tonight?
You cannot know about that, you know. And the Final Four, as I tell you before, counts a lot. Okay, I cannot say that the approach of the coach is not important, but for me it matters of the player, and it matters to do some specific things that brings you here. And also the change of the rhythm, because it's a final, it's a knockout game. For me it's very important, let's say if you see a close game, to find a player, if you can, let's say, pull the team, push the team, to be honest, and let's say to give an advantage with 1-2 fast breaks or with some primaries fast break.
Do you know that Giorgos started doing some YouTube shows talking about basketball?
No, I didn't know that.
How's that going, Giorgos?
It's a beautiful mind.
My big success was that I forced Dimitri Diamandidis to talk, and to talk a lot.
Yes, yes.
This is very big success.
You are the MVP. This is almost a gold.
That's very good. That's true. That's true.
Giorgos, when you hit a shot the way you did to win the EuroLeague Final Four, maybe the biggest shot in the history, certainly of Olympiacos, how does your life change? You live. I assume you go to restaurants in Athens and people want to pay your check sometimes because of the popularity and what you did for the sport and what you did for the club.
I will be honest with you 100%. It was one very, very nice moment. But if you play for Olympiacos, as you know, the only thing that it counts is the today. So immediately, you have to forget it immediately. Now that I retired, there are moments that I think, I say, was really nice. But at that moment, because we had finals, we had national team, again we had cup. It's very difficult, let's say, to relax or to stay on that.
Vasiliki, clearly he's very popular still.
Yeah, did you see him hugging the people behind us?
Well.
He's a very beloved person. But even with Panathinaikos fans, he was one of the players that they respected the most. How was that? How did you build that level of respect from the opponent fan base?
I don't know if it happened, but for me it was very strange that I passed all this gym around and nobody say anything. This is looks very strange for me, man. Just the game here. So
I believe that even if you come here in a Panathinaikos game, there would be no problem.
Okay, don't swear about that.
Okay.
Don't be sure about
okay.
that.
Giorgos, we know you have to leave. We appreciate very much.
Thank you very much.
Coming
Thank
to
you very,
stay
very
with us.
much.
Thank you
Enjoy
very
the
much.
game.
Enjoy the game.
All right, Olympiacos legend Giorgos Printezis giving us a lot of time here, and we appreciate it. Enjoy the game. So we continue to count down here between Olympiacos and Fenerbahce. Coach, we mentioned a little bit of the coaching matchup. Again, not going to ask you for a prediction, but how do you see this thing going tonight? What are the biggest factors as we get set for the semifinal?
Spiro, I have a game plan here.
I see. Once a coach, always a coach.
Bro. So I believe it's two different styles, two different ways to approach the game. Let's go to the Fener bench. Fener wants more possession without structure because they're playing against the best half-court defense. Olympiacos can really smash you with their pack line defense. They do it many years. They do it very well. They do it very physical. They can really take away the oxygen to your offense. So what Fener wants is a game with increased volatility. So a lot of ups and downs and not a stable game. The second thing, they want to create a lot of transition opportunities to don't have to face half-court defense of Olympiacos. The third thing is separate or pressure Vezenkov catches. The true point guard, the leader of Olympiacos' offensive system is Sasha Vezenkov. If he is able to take the game in his hands, Olympiacos is favored. So this is from Fener's side. Do you want to add something?
No, I'm covered, but I want your opinion on something. A few days ago, I interviewed Tyler Dorsey for the EuroLeague and Friends podcast, and he told me that he thinks the biggest threat in Fener is Nicolo Melli, a player that you know very well because he can switch everything on defense. He can guard from 1 to 5. What's your take on that?
The Olympiacos fan didn't allow me to hear anything. So I guess you're talking about Nicolo Melli.
Yes.
I read well your mouth.
Yes.
Nicolo is will always be one of my favorite person that I met in basketball. We have a strong bond. I'm so happy because I know exactly how he felt before last season trophy. So he had a chip on his shoulder. I met him before the game and he still has the chip on the shoulder.
Really?
He is the key player for me for the improving all the others. He's team-oriented player. His IQ is brilliant. He can rebound very well. He can switch, but moreover, he can say the right thing to every teammate in a most critical moment.
Yeah, that's a very important and underrated quality. There's someone else you know very well from Fener's side, Wade Baldwin.
Wade. What a thrilling player. What an amazing player. This mix of athleticism and skill set is unmatched. And, let's say that he started to bloom in Bayern, and he's one guy that has one very specific skill that is not very common. He's grateful. So he always, whenever we meet, he always thanks me for what I did. I didn't do much. I just tried to let him unleash his talent.
Yeah, okay.
And he can be a game changer.
Do you think that he's having the most mature season of his career?
The only thing that was missing in his career was stability. And now he has stability.
We are approaching tip-off. The two clubs, Olympiacos and Fenerbahce, will be taking the floor here any moment. Olympiacos fans continue to make a lot of noise inside the arena. Fenerbahce fans here well represented as well. One player we mentioned, Sasha Vezenkov, of course, the MVP for Olympiacos. The entire system built around him. And Giorgos Printezis mentioned, what have you done for me lately in terms of popularity of certain players? And as good as Vezenkov has been, these fans here remember his struggles, coach, in Abu Dhabi last year during the Final Four. How much is that in the back of his mind? And as Olympiacos is now taking the floor here at Telecom Center in Athens, but his struggles in the Final Four, part of the storyline as well, as he tries to erase those memories.
Yes, he struggles, but the good thing is after the struggle to have another opportunity. He has another opportunity now to play at this stage, a Final Four, as the unique leader. He's the motor of Olympiacos offense. And he knows that, last year he didn't deliver. I expect a great game from Sasha Vezenkov.
Vezenkov has taken the floor with Olympiacos. As you can hear, the Olympiacos supporters going to an even higher decibel, coach, as we can barely hear each other here on the floor, just off the floor here at Telecom Center. And this build-up continues. Again, there's nothing quite like it. Until you've been in a building like this, in a moment like this, at a Final Four in this city, there's really nothing you can say to properly describe it to people watching at home.
I believe that there is one person who can do it better, and she's on my left. She looks gorgeous. This is her city.
Yes.
She has to do it.
Well, I know that all those people that couldn't manage to get tickets are very sad right now, because this is the moment that you want to be here, that you want to take everything in, experience this thing. But those who are here, I think they will carry these memories for the rest of their lives. It's my 4th Final Four. This one is my hometown, so this is very special for me as well. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Coach, I want to mention, we mentioned some of the big players, certainly Vezenkov, Giorgos mentioned Biberovic, but you try to think about which players are going to step up. Maybe not the star players in a moment like this. Sometimes it's the guy who's maybe towards the end of the bench who hits a big shot or makes a big play in a big moment, and you wonder what are the key matchups tonight. You think of Tyler Dorsey last year, who was basically just on the edge of the rotation for Olympiacos. Now here he is as a top 10 scorer this year in the EuroLeague. He has changed this team in a lot of ways. Who are some of the other players you think are going to have a big moment in this game tonight?
I would say that the first thing, Tyler Dorsey changed his mentality. He's playing with such a confidence never seen before. Whenever he catches the ball, he thinks, I'm going to score. That he has some game that it looks from outside unstoppable. Against the best defender with size, physical defender, he was just relentless in scoring. But in the Final Four, everybody knows everything. The coaching staff knows when a player goes to the toilet, what shoe, what socks, what he's gonna say to his wife. They know everything. So there is always somebody that can pop out, a player that can do something that is unexpected. This game tonight, the first semifinal, is very tight. It's I don't see a lot of room, and somebody has to come cold from the bench and do 3 possessions to change the momentum. Can I tell you who's this player? No, but I put €1 on Papanikolaou. And I tell you why. He is the soul of Olympiacos. And he always put himself at the service of the team. Always put himself for the best of the team. And I feel that he's very tired of not winning. And I believe he can do something special.
10 Final Fours for Kostas Papanikolaou. Legendary career. He's been to the mountaintop. Will he be the one to take the last shot? Ironically, they asked him yesterday at the press conference, if you have the ball in your hands, are you going to take the shot or are you going to pass? And of course, he's very modest. He said, no, I will not take the last shot. I will pass. But it shows you his personality, who he is, Vasiliki, as you know better than anyone.
Yeah, he's a very humble guy. He always puts the team first, whatever the team needs. But he's not the only one who did that this year. So I want to talk about a little bit about Evan Fournier, because he took a step back in order for Tyler Dorsey to be the starting lineup, and he can come with a second unit. So I'm really curious to see how much each of these players is going to play tonight, because I think Evan Fournier will need to guard Taylor Horton-Tucker because of the size, since Frank Ntilikina is out of the 12-man lineup. So you need someone to guard Taylor Horton-Tucker. So maybe we will see both Fournier and Dorsey playing together at some point.
I want to mention one other star player tonight who we haven't mentioned yet, Nande De Colo.
Yeah.
Legendary career. He has announced that this will be his final EuroLeague season, as coach clearly continues to be a very popular man here, even in enemy territory with Olympiacos fans. But what a career for De Colo, and what a potential crowning final chapter, coach, that this could potentially be for him if he leads them. But his signing for them for Fener early January really changed the course of their season.
They want to do the same thing they did last year with McCallum, having a player that can be clutch, can play, let's say, not too many minutes, but able to deliver. For me, De Colo, I go back to Top Gun, is Iceman. He has ice in his veins. He never change face, is a killer, one of the best passer of the dribble with Milos Teodosic all time in EuroLeague. I believe he has 97% from free throw line, something
all-time free throw shooter.
He's
unbelievable.
just above Sarunas Gaskevicius. So at the start of the season, when the Colo joined Fener, Saras was making a joke. I hope he misses some this time, so I can pass him.
This is typical. Saras being
Yes.
Saras.
Vasiliki mentioned Taylor Horton-Tucker. You know, what an interesting player he's been. What a signing, as he has his first EuroLeague season of experience. You think of what he's brought to the table, all of that NBA experience. He had some really impressive moments in the NBA, specifically with the Los Angeles Lakers. How impressed have you been with Horton-Tucker?
Oh, if there is somebody that can get to the rim, this is him. He's a four-wheel drive. He's so powerful and so good in finishing at the rim. And I was thinking when Giorgo was talking about we don't have to change anything, but a player like Horton-Tucker can take you in that area should they change something, because he can kill any kind of defense. He's so physical, so good in absorbing contact. I want to see that, what Olympiacos is going to do against him.
We also found out he has a lot of different names yesterday during the press conference, but that was a nice little moment where they asked him just his thoughts and his emotions. But you can clearly tell that this is a special time for him and his family as he thinks about tonight and the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, coach said that Nando De Colo is a nice man, so I was wondering, no stress at all, knowing that this is your last chance to the big stage, your last Final Four?
Ooh, no, come on.
What?
I don't know. It's
I would be stressed as hell.
It's difficult. I don't want it. I skip this.
Okay.
I skip this.
Do you want to make an official prediction or no?
If the game goes on a higher number of possession, I would say Fener. If the game will be half court, discipline, Olympiacos.
More pressure on Olympiacos with this atmosphere?
On the paper, yes, but when there is the jump ball, it's the same.
I think some weight was lifted off their shoulders when they found out that Panathinaikos is not going to be here, because that would be even crazier for them.
The Greek insider.
There it is. There it comes
That's
out.
a good point. That's a fair point.
How important is it for each team to get off to a fast start, especially Olympiacos? If it doesn't go their way the first 5-6 minutes, maybe double-digit lead for Fener, then the pressure starts to get higher. What about the importance of getting off to a good start?
I don't see this as a problem for Fener, because they want a game with volatility, a lot of swings, because they put together an amazing defensive system this season. They have less talent on offense than the last year, but I can say that if Olympiacos have a very slow start, this can be extra pressure for them.
There's a player we haven't mentioned, it's Devon Hall, and a lot of people say that he was the MVP of Fener last year's Final Four, even though Nigel won the award. What do you think? How important is he going to be tonight?
You're talking about Devon Hall, right?
Yes.
Because
Even now,
Olympiacos fans are
yeah,
playing
yeah.
defense. He's a perfect player to play with Wade Baldwin. He can knock down shots, he can play defense, and if you need, he can even go to become clutch on ISO. So last year he was the MVP. I would give the MVP to Nicolò, but
Yeah, okay. Yes, obvious reasons.
objective. But Devon Hall is a key factor for Fener.
All right, tip-off fast approaching of our first of two semifinals tonight. We will be going off-air. You can, of course, watch the full broadcast of the game on EuroLeague TV, ELTV coming up momentarily with our excellent game callers coming up. Coach Vasiliki, some final thoughts? What are you thinking about as we go off-air and we get set for Olympiacos?
We're ready to rumble. Enjoy it.
Vasiliki?
I think one of the best games I saw this season was between Olympiacos and Fener at Peace and Friendship Stadium. So I hope we get to see a rematch of that.
One game, anything is possible. No best of 5 anymore, no playoff series, one game.
So your take on that? What's better, the Final Four or the NBA series?
Final Four, of course. EuroLeague.
Really?
Absolutely.
From fans, I would say Final Four. as a coach, a best of 5, best of 7 series will give you the best team.
Yeah. But that eliminates the element of surprise. We wouldn't have seen Olympiacos going from down 19 points against CSKA Moscow in 2012, and Giorgos Printezis is making that shot if it wasn't for the final
I was
four.
there, and I was feeling that CSKA was losing the game without knowing they were losing the game.
Yeah.
And at the end, we lost the game.
Yeah, and Papa Nicolau was crucial in that game.
The 2 threes in transition.
Yeah.
Papa Nicolau, who is lurking, I'm told, around the arena. He may join us at some point tonight, maybe even Sunday, if Olympiacos is fortunate enough to win this game and advance to the championship final on Sunday. So again, this is the first of 2 semifinals. Olympiacos, will this finally be the year that they climb the EuroLeague basketball mountaintop, or will it be Fenerbahce, the defending EuroLeague champions? Could they possibly repeat as they hope to take their next step to potential European glory? We're going to say goodbye here just for a couple of minutes. They're going to announce the teams, and we will be back for some final thoughts just before the start of the game. Did you have fun, Coach?
Yep.
Coach is all business, Vasiliki. He's ready for the game. For Coach, for Vasiliki, I'm Spiro. We'll see you again here in just a couple of minutes.
Please turn your attention to the board as the 2026 EuroLeague Final Four opening show presented by Etihad is about to begin.
Tonight, in Athens, legends will rise. 4 teams, 1 throne. This is the 2026 EuroLeague Final Four Athens, presented by Etihad. Earned through relentless pursuit, felt in every heartbeat. Few ever reach it. Only those who push beyond their limits. The court becomes Olympus, where teams will compete not just for victory, but to be crowned and ascend to ultimate glory. Only the worthy can claim it, feel it, rise with it. Let the games begin.
Voices in my head go, voices in my head go, voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go, voices in my head go, voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go, 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 voices in my head go. I know I should sleep, but the voices in my head go.
Team lineup starting with our visitors. First, number 2, Wade Baldwin. The 4th, number 4, Nicolo Melli. Number 8, Taylor Horton Tucker. Number 11, Brandon Boston Jr. Number 12, Nando De Colo. Number 13, Tadek Biberovic. Number 17, Onirab Beatem. Number 18, Mikhail Yantunen. Number 20, Devin Hall. Number 30, Chris Silva. Number 50, Bonzi Colson. Number 92, Kim Birch. Head coach, Sharas Jessikavicius. And now for Olympiacos Piraeus. Number 0, Thomas Walker. Number 3, Tyson Ward. Number 14, Sasha Vezenko. Number 16, Kostas Papanikolaou. Number 22, Tyler Dorsey. Number 25, Alec Peters. Number 33, Nicola Milutino. Number 34, Corey Joseph. Number 45, Dante Hall. Number 77, Shaquille McKissick. Number 88, Tyreek Jones. Number 94, Evan Fournier. Head coach, Giorgos Printezis. Referees for this contest are crew chiefs Sredan Radovic, Carlos Peruga, and Milan Nedovic. Sit tight, fans, the action beginning in moments.
All right, these starting lineups have been introduced for both teams, Olympiacos and Fenerbahce. Time for one final thought, Coach. Maybe you want to give a prediction, anything in your mind here as we get set to watch these teams finally take the floor.
No predictions. I just expect a hell of a game with a lot of physicality, a lot of athletic plays, and I just can't wait to enjoy it.
I'm a little bit biased because there's a Greek team involved. Last year there were 2, so I couldn't really pick a side, but this time is easier for me. I hope they will have a great game. I hope everybody will be happy after that. The introduction was unbelievable, like the Greek ancient style and all that. So I hope we get to enjoy the best game possible.
All right, this was a lot of fun. We will say goodbye to Vasiliki. And Coach, I'll be back with you for our post-game coverage. Without further ado, the waiting is over. Olympiacos, is this the year that they finally take home the hardware? We'll find out if they take that next step tonight against the defending champions Fenerbahce. You can watch the full live game broadcast right now on EuroLeague TV. We will see you back here after the game.
Athens, the glorious city, where titans rise and legends are born. Under the shadow of the Acropolis, fates will be decided.
He's gonna go all the way!
And history written.
Oh!
Welcome to the Greek capital.
Can you believe it?
Welcome to the EuroLeague Final Four.